Hi everybody and welcome to BBC. Venerable is on her way to India for 2 months, and so the Abbey community will be doing the BBCs. She requested Venerable Jigme and I to share some of our personal experiences because today is the 9th anniversary of Venerable moving into the Abbey. The 17th and 18th was the first weekend where she was here. And so I was one of those folks who was fortunate to witness and support her in that very first experience, which was so exciting and so amazing. And so by the spring of 2003, she was meeting with some of her senior students in Cataldo, Idaho, basically to sort of show us how to facilitate and do meditation class and lead meditation classes in our Dharma centers in Seattle and Boise and wherever. And it ended up being a brainstorming session with us and the beginnings of the Friends of Sravasti Abbey, where we all basically said, we want to support you, Venerable, in finding this land, of founding the Abbey. What can we do to support you? It was an incredible, intense weekend of really helping her, just talking and brainstorming. So that was May? June. July, she went to Deer Park to receive teachings from Geshe Sopa, her teacher, and during that time she was cruising the internet looking at real estate in Idaho. North Idaho was now being expanded to North Idaho, and she went onto a multiple listing website, and the front of this house showed up in a picture. And she was with one of her nun friends, and she was absolutely taken about by the sense of space and light. And for me, the front of this house looks like the bow of a ship. And she looked at the price, $500,000, and she went, well, I can't do that. And Venerable Jampa said, oh, when you get back to Idaho, go look. It won't hurt to go look. And without getting into the details of the utterly remarkable story on how she acquired this property, August she came here, so she went from Geshe Sopa in Deer Park. She came here in August, met through the realtor, Vicky and Harold Unruh, through a course of remarkable cause and conditions, offered to carry the mortgage. It was just exactly beyond what her wildest dreams were. And so by September, she's ready to sign the paper. She's leading a retreat, going to lead a retreat at Cloud Mountain, Washington. Just before she leaves Zopa's home in Portland, she gets a phone call saying, you need house insurance, and we've got a problem with radon in the house that you need to deal with before anything can happen here. And oh, by the way, the septic tank has to be replaced. So here she is leading this retreat in Cloud Mountain, Washington. Between sessions, she's faxing, phoning, researching about insurance, radon, septic tanks. Manjushri is what looks like having kidney failure in Boise and is at almost near death. And she's telling Dan to just keep feeding him. He's wasting away. And she's leading us in this incredible retreat, all going on at the same time. After the retreat, she hurried down to Boise, spoon-fed Manjushri with prayers and probably just a whole lot of good karma. Manjushri recovered. And on October 17th, 9 years today, she moved into the Abbey. And we have some really cute videos of her moving in here and the furniture. She came with U-Hauls with nothing but donated furniture. It was quite a remarkable thing. And what happened is there were 7 of us that came, Venerable Jigme, myself, Tom Woodbury, Paul Dragoni, Tracy Morgan, Alice Sackman, and Richard Justin, all here for the weekend helping her move in. And we left that weekend, and what happened is she said she came and she sat in this room with Manjushri and Achala and said, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pull this off? Here I am, one nun with 2 cats, some wonderful students, but they live in Missoula, they live in Boise, they live in Seattle, they live Coeur d'Alene. How am I going to do this? And this is the other piece that really, as the years have gone by and I see where we are now, that just almost brings me to tears on her courage of mind, on her absolute confidence in the 3 jewels. Because if you aspire to do what she wanted to do, which was to bring the Dharma to the West, to bring a monastic community, a place for people to train so they could practice the Dharma and really embody it. The Buddha has said if you do that with a sincere mind, the food will roll up the hill. And that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will assist you. And her confidence sitting here with nothing but donated furniture and a $500,000 mortgage with, you know, who knows how that's going to happen, and saying, I'm going to continue because she had so much confidence and faith in the three jewels. And also, too, to sort of put this with her, her teachings this week, is that during this time, seeing her develop her ability to be trustworthy. That whole thing that she talked about yesterday about developing, practicing ethical conduct, to eliminating the 10 non-virtues, abandoning them, and cultivating virtue, that she has made herself so trustworthy that she has never betrayed the trust of people who have supported her financially, with prayers, with skills, with expertise. She has never, as far as I'm concerned, has never betrayed that trust. And what she's trying to pass along to those of us who are fortunate enough to be in this vision and now are part and hold that vision within ourselves, is she is requesting us to, almost instilling in us the same commitment to grow that kind of trustworthiness in our practice, in our training, in our ability to hold this vision, because she says, I no longer take the responsibility for this vision. All of you are full participants in the long-term vision of the founding and the flourishing of Sravasti Abbey and the Dharma in the West. And from her modeling, wanting us to be instilled the same level of trustworthiness, to keep our precepts, to practice ethical conduct and the 6 far-reaching practices, so that we may be trustworthy enough that we will never betray the trust of those who support and are really with us along the way to really making Sravasti Abbey a beacon of light in this world. And that day was, looking back on it in hindsight, and the pictures of her looking a lot less grayer, all of us looking a lot less grayer, seeing what she has held and now what she's really asking us to hold. And what an honor, what a privilege, what an incredible rare opportunity to be able to be part of it. So today, in celebration of the 9 years so far, and may there be many, many years, thousands, millennia, of the flourishing of Sravasti Abbey and the flourishing of the Dharma in the West.